Yeah, I'm interested. We talked to Zac on Tuesday, and I'm interested when we get a chance to talk to him because we've not talked to him since all this stuff has gone down. He's not been made available, and they usually schedule at different times during OTAs.
Right.
So it's not that he's ducking anything; it's just it wasn't scheduled. So we're going to talk to him on Tuesday. Listen, for starters, I don't think he sent that text to Trey Hendrickson on his own volition. I think he was asked to send that text. Because one thing I think Zac does a really good job of, in my opinion, is basically staying out of the business end of it. Because it's really not his business. I mean, you suggest, hey, I'd like to have this guy back or that guy back, but he's not going to say, hey, whatever it takes to pay Trey Hendrickson, whatever it takes. That's just not his bailiwick. His bailiwick is to coach the football team and handle the players. So I don't think he sent that to Trey. So I think he stays out of this whole situation. I think that it was pretty made clear from the organization sending that text. And I think Trey read it the right way to some degree of nothing much is going to get done between now and minicamp. And I'm not so sure if anything's going to get done in training camp. I'm not so sure this gets done. Now he says, I'm not going to play. That's easy to say in May, right? Okay, come September 7th, and you start forfeiting what amounts to basically $1 million a week in game checks, as he's about making almost $17 million this year. I just don't see him doing that. I mean, it's great to say it today because the only leverage point he has is to say that and hope the Bengals believe him in doing that. I think they're far apart. The Bengals have obviously, he's talking about lack of communication, and I guess there probably is. But if you go back to what Katie Blackburn said at the owners' meetings, where Trey needs to be happy at a price point where he doesn't think he's happy at, sounds to me like they've made an offer and he doesn't like the offer. That's his his camp can certainly not like that offer, but that's their offer, in my opinion. Right. And they're like, hey, there's nothing else to communicate to you. Here's our offer. And so I think that's why he had his little powwow the other day with us, was he has no other leverage other than to just try to be a greasy wheel and upset the apple cart as much as humanly possible to see if they blink. Well, you've been around this long enough. Mike Brown doesn't blink, man. He just doesn't.
Ask Carson Palmer.
I mean, he can take all the heat, fan base can lay on him, the media can lay on him. He's just not going to blink. And so I don't know what the resolution of this is. So if I were Zac in this case, I would have told them if you want to send a text to him, you send the text. I'm not going to, don't drive the wedge between me and the player. Right. I want to continue to have some level of relationship. I don't think it's a great relationship. I think Trey is a pain in the neck at times. He does some wacky things that I think gets under Zac's skin. But I think overall, player coach wise, I think there's a mutual respect there. Trey even said, it was weird. Trey admitted he was disappointed with Zac, but then he comes back around and says how much he respects Zac. So he talked in circles. Yeah. So if I were Zac to this question, I would just I'd try to stay out of it as much as possible. And it's a shame that he got thrust into this. And I think ownership or management, whoever it was, were the ones that made him send that text.